Ah yes, Texas, the Northstar state. Wait, what? No, that's not right. What is this train doing here?
Hey everybody, welcome to a brand new Trains Are Awesome video. I'm Tom. I'm standing in front of Dallas Union Station in Dallas, Texas. Today we are going to travel to Fort Worth, Texas, about an hour away by train. What train are we taking? Why, the Trinity Railway Express, of course.
I've always wanted to come to Dallas and ride the transit system here, which might sound strange to you if you're not super familiar with it. Isn't Texas like the most car-centric place in the world? Maybe not the world, but the automobile certainly is very dominant here. I mean, littered across the region are these trillion-lane highways. But Dallas and the neighboring city of Fort Worth do have a rail transit system that's quite expansive, and I would say certainly not the worst in the country. It is made up of many modes, and it's all pretty well integrated with each other. Like light rail, streetcars, European-style diesel trains, and more traditional North American commuter rail. That's what we're riding today, the Trinity Railway Express, which originates right here at this building. Dallas Union Station, which opened in 1916, is located in downtown Dallas, just a few blocks away from the site where President John F. Kennedy was assassinated in 1963. Inside the building, you enter a waiting room, which seems kind of small and dark for an old station building. This level is not the main hall. That is located upstairs on the second floor. It was abandoned because people didn't want to go up the stairs just to wait for their train. Today, it is an event space connected to the nearby Hyatt Regency. The platforms are located a short walk from the terminal building. These platforms serve the Trinity Railway Express, the Amtrak Texas Eagle service, and the red and blue lines of the DART light rail. On the opposite side of the tracks are the aforementioned Hyatt Regency and the Reunion Tower, perhaps Dallas's most recognizable landmark. Bring the camera down and we see our train. It's yellow, white, and blue, which may not seem strange to you until you realize that TRE trains are normally red, white, and blue, the colors of the Texas flag. Upon closer inspection, there are more clues that this is no ordinary TRE train. It is plastered in logos of the Twin Cities Metro in Minnesota. And of course, it says Northstar, a very Minnesota-coded name.
Now, with all this cold and rain in Dallas today, you might be mistaken and think you're in Minnesota. But make no mistake, we are in Texas. So what the heck is that Minnesotan train doing over there?
This is our TRE train that we are catching to Fort Worth. Sure, there's not even the tiniest sticker or anything saying it's a TRE train, but you'll just have to take my word for it. Up front, we have an MP36PH-3C diesel locomotive, which is normally not on TRE's roster. And behind it, there are two Bombardier bi-level cars, the back one having a driver's cab. There goes the Texas Eagle on its way to Fort Worth and San Antonio. Our train will run right behind it, but we do have a few minutes more until departure. These Northstar coaches were brought down from Minnesota to Texas in March of 2026. I filmed this video in April. They were previously used on the Northstar commuter rail service in Minnesota, which ran between Minneapolis and Big Lake, from 2009 until the line was shut down in January 2026. Why did they then come to Texas? Well, let's talk about that when we're on our way. You board on the lower level of the car, and there are stairs that can take you to the middle level, which has some seats and is also where the connections to the other cars are, or you can take another set of stairs and then you are on the upper level, my go-to. Some of the seats up here have power sockets, which is great because otherwise my phone would not have survived filming this video. Downstairs there are trash cans, bicycle storage, and wheelchair spaces. Alright, I am on board the train. Although the outside says Northstar, this is a TRE service. We're going to depart in about 20 minutes and then it'll take an hour to get to Fort Worth, which is not bad. I mean, it's so weird to be in a Minnesota train looking out the window and seeing a Dallas landmark. It does feel very strange to be in a city I've never been to before, running a line I've never ridden before, but reviewing train cars that I have reviewed before. Although the regular TRE cars do have a very similar interior, since this is a popular model of passenger car found all across the continent. We wait for the Texas Eagle bound for Chicago to pull in. Fun fact, I was supposed to be on that train. However, at the last minute, I switched my ticket to be on the Heartland Flyer instead, since I knew it was being cancelled soon. Please watch that video if you haven't already. But just a few minutes later, we begin our hour-long journey to Fort Worth. Trinity Railway Express is a 34-mile or 55-kilometer line connecting Dallas Union Station with Fort Worth T&P Station. It is named after the Trinity River, which it sort of parallels. The service is a joint venture between DART, the agency that operates service in and around Dallas, and Trinity Metro, the agency for Fort Worth and its suburbs. Because of that, its fares are integrated with the regional transit system. I rode the line with my $9 DART Regional Day Pass, which I had already been using that day to ride the light rail and other regional trains in the area. Talk about great value. If you take a trip that doesn't cross into a different fare zone, your ticket is as low as $2. Our first station is Victory in Dallas, where transfer is available to the green and orange DART light rail lines.
Oh, that is the smell of victory! Victory!
Many American commuter rail systems have problematic schedules, where trains only run into a city in the morning and back to the suburbs in the afternoon. I say such a schedule is problematic because while it works great for your traditional 9-to-5 suburban commuter, a shrinking ridership base, it makes the train impossible to take for any other group. Well, TRE does not have that problem. Because it has a major city on both ends of the line, train service is basically every half hour on weekdays and every hour on Saturdays, in both directions. Keep in mind there are a few trains that do not run the entire length of the line. I rode on a Saturday afternoon, and the train was full of people going to an event in Fort Worth. A schedule like this is made possible because it's the two counties the line serves who own the tracks. These are former Chicago, Rock Island, and Pacific tracks, which the counties bought in 1983 in anticipation of commuter rail service beginning in 1996. The Amtrak Texas Eagle also uses these tracks. Despite TRE's good schedule and low fares, ridership remains on the lower side for American commuter rail systems, at about 1.3 million a year. I think that can mostly be attributed to the dominance of car infrastructure here in Texas, as well as the fact that airport passengers have alternative train lines to get to DFW. I said the schedule is good, not great. That's because on Sundays, service is non-existent. The argument given for this is that Sunday closures are necessary for maintenance on the tracks and the trains. I don't necessarily want to cast doubt on that statement, but it does make me curious in what ways the maintenance process is different here from other lines around the world which do run on Sundays. The TRE line opened in stages between 1996 and 2001. The newest station is Trinity Lakes, which opened in 2024, replacing the old Richland Hill station. After the initial opening, they have made several improvements. They have double-tracked much of the line, allowing for the schedule to be the way that it is. Until 2009, it was also customary for conductors to wait at stations if they saw people were still parking their cars. But since then, the policy has been to focus more on punctuality. Up until West Irving, we are in Dallas County. Seeing these planes coming in for landing means that we've crossed the county line and are approaching Centerport Station in Tarrant County, where transfer is available to a shuttle bus to DFW Airport. Alright, this is Centerport Station. Up until here you can travel with just a DART ticket. Beyond here you need a DART regional ticket, which is only $9. It's really a great deal. Until TexRail opened, if you were coming from Fort Worth, Centerport was the only way to get to the DFW airport. You would have to transfer to a shuttle bus here. Thankfully, TexRail now brings you directly into the airport. Now, let's talk about the fleet. There are 3 different types of locomotives on the roster, 2 of which were bought from other agencies. When the line first opened, they used some borrowed train cars from Amtrak, and from 1997 to 2011, they also used a fleet of 13 Bud Rail diesel cars, or RDCs, which they got from Via Rail Canada.
Next stop's Bell Station. Bell Station.
And now the Northstar cars that they are leasing from Minnesota. Northstar was a commuter rail service from Minneapolis to Big Lake. It's a bit of a sad story, really. It was supposed to go up to St. Cloud, a major population center. However, it was never built up that far because then it would not have been eligible for certain funding. So it ended halfway. Add to that the fact that it only ever ran a handful of trips a day, and that severely limited its popularity. And COVID was kind of the nail in the coffin. So it's 2026, and what do you do when a transit line is struggling, not reaching its full potential? Do you make it better so it's usable for more people? No, of course not. You just shut it down. So January 4th, 2026 was the last day of service for Northstar. $300 million of investment, and now they run buses. Now back to TRE. It's 2026 and Dallas is hosting a little event. You might have heard of it. It's called the World Cup. And that means that they are running more trains. Their matchday schedules are available online. TRE is no stranger to running secondhand trains, as we discussed earlier. The Northstar trains are still new enough that they have some life left in them, and so as soon as the line shutdown was announced, speculation began as to where they'd go next. Amtrak has considered putting them on the Hiawatha service between Chicago and Milwaukee. But in March of this year, TRE put some of the rumors to rest. They are leasing these cars for the duration of the World Cup to reinforce the fleet during the expected busyness. They've been in service since April, a few months before the World Cup began, and they will run for the duration of the sporting event. After the World Cup is over, the trains will be returned to Minnesota, probably waiting for somebody else who might need them. Anyway, we are pulling into Fort Worth Central Station, transfer station to TexRail and Amtrak. The Texas Eagle we saw earlier is still standing there. TRE continues one stop beyond Central Station to the TMP station, but I am getting off here to transfer. Both Trinity Railway Express and TexRail, the train service from Fort Worth to DFW Airport, use the two platforms closest to the bus station here at Fort Worth Central Station. Anyway, now you know why there are Minnesota train cars running in Texas. It's so that Trinity Railway Express can run more and longer trains during the World Cup. What happened to Northstar is a shame and should serve as a warning for other cities. But I am glad that the train cars were still able to be put to good use. And I'm happy to have ridden another one of the commuter rail networks in the United States. The list of systems I have yet to ride is shrinking rapidly. I've got a few more videos filmed coming your way soon. So if you enjoyed this video or you learned something new, please subscribe to Trains Are Awesome. Thank you so much for watching today. We'll see you next time.